Looks like we're live. We're supposed to be live. Alright, we'll see. Since you're waiting. Okay, so that, oh, I understand. Okay. So it'll be live in like another 30 seconds. Okay, we're live now. Here we go. Really slow going though. Alright, nice to see you guys. MJ here. We're at Wenwen's place here. Now, I explained to Wenwen earlier tonight about the postcards that all of you are sending to her, and I said that I would explain to her, where they're from, and I would also explain to her what the message is that you said. And I said, you should probably put them on the wall. It would look really cool. So there you go. So there's that. So we should have a few folks join in here momentarily. Dave in Osaka, you're the first to join tonight. Hi, how are you doing, man? Good to see you. Have a little update on our friend Mr. T. I saw T earlier tonight, and when I saw him, I had to control my emotions so I wouldn't register the shock on my face when I saw him. I understand. Dave says he's in bed about to pass out. Yeah, Dave is an hour ahead of us, so it is 11:15. And Dave has to work, I think. I think the vacation's over. There was a holiday, but if it's not, so. Yeah, the right side of his face is paralyzed. He can only talk like this, out of this side, and this side is completely paralyzed. And when he blinks with this eye, and this eye barely moves, and he can't hear out of that ear. So, see, I called him. I've been calling him because his place wasn't open, his phone was off. I told my wife, I said, I think something bad happened. I mean, sorry to say, and it's not that I, would ever wish that or dwell on it, but I just had this feeling. And so I called him, and he doesn't drink, but when I talked to him, I thought he was drunk. And I asked him if he was on medication. He wasn't, and I could barely understand him. I understood maybe 50% of what he said. But tonight, the doctor said it will go away. The doctor said it's normal for this kind of procedure, and nope, it should not be permanent. That's a very good question. And so he couldn't walk a couple of days ago. Now he can. So I think a month from now he'll be riding his bike. So yeah, just from when I talked to him a couple of days ago to today, he's made a tremendous improvement in his speech. And so I guess if you didn't know him, it wouldn't bother you. But I know the guy. Let me tell you, my heart was breaking when I was looking at him. He was just, you hate to see a man debilitated like that. But at least he can still function. Hey, you know what? I got comments on the main app tonight. They're working, but I'm going to keep the iPhone alive just in case we have a little troll problem tonight, which is a possibility. So I want to thank everyone who joined. Let me see. I joined my own broadcast. So T's favorite thing is to say, don't worry. He says, don't worry about everything. And so he said it like 6 times, don't worry. And the doctor is telling him the same thing. The doctor actually said to him, don't worry, that it's not permanent, and it's a temporary thing, and it should be 3 months. He also said that acupuncture helps, and he has an acupuncture appointment scheduled for next week. So he's going to get some acupuncture treatment. And there isn't really a medication treatment. There's not a protocol for even Chinese medicine, except for acupuncture. So they think the acupuncture, that's the story. So naturally, you guys understand, I was hoping I could scope from his place. But there's no way. First of all, he needs the rest. But second of all, I didn't want to ask him to come on camera in the condition he's in, because it would have scared everybody to death. Because you guys have seen him before. And you know how it would be if suddenly somebody's right side of their face, they couldn't talk. It was like he was talking like this. I can't even do it. Only this side of his mouth was opening, and this side was just completely dead. If you put like a card up to his face, couldn't even tell he was talking on that side. So yeah, that's the update on T. Now, two things. Tomorrow I'm bringing her English menu for this restaurant. She's been asking me for an English menu. I took a couple of days, and actually just one day actually, and to do it. And I'm gonna spot check it again tomorrow. But it's essentially done. Menu for postcards are coming. At first I wasn't going to. They were gonna send her some postcards. Now she didn't understand the Chinese word for postcard. But when I explained what it was, then she was like, "Oh, okay." So then, and I suggested that she could put them on the wall because she's got a calendar, but she could put them on the wall up there. And I explained to her that whatever comes in for postcards, I would read them to her. I would tell her, where they're from, who sent them, where they're from, and what the message is to her. So, Dave, if you're still alive, give me a 1, please. If you're still awake, that is. I think our only viewer tonight on YouTube is fast asleep. That's what I think. Now, I was going to go on broadcast tonight, but there's a database outage, and the database outage causes the app to crash. Oh, Mike Waterford's asking me about this. We got too many groups. Mike Waterford was asking me, was I going to wait the 30 minutes? They said they needed 30 minutes to rectify the database outage. And Mike was asking me, was I going to just abort, the plan, or was I going to wait the 30 minutes? So I'm going to send a message about that. I'm going to send a message to broadcast and ask them to let me know. To be perfectly honest with you, I would much rather be on the broadcast platform than on YouTube for a couple reasons. But the thing is Google never gave me the ability to stream live. I'm using a third-party app, and it's kind of making me angry. And let's see. Okay. Good. Dave, I retweeted your Laos trip. That's really cool, man. I'm really happy. I haven't been in Laos in I've been in Laos since 2010. I love Laos. I wish I was going. I wish it was me. Now, don't get me wrong. I won't trade my family or my kids. Since I have my kid, I put the lid on traveling. And I know some people do. A friend of mine is a professional programmer, and he moves every 9 months all around the world, like Montreal and Mumbai and Taiwan and you name it. Anyway, my kid is 4 years old. Sure, it's my pleasure, Dave. It's my pleasure. It's the least I can do. I want to see those scopes because you're going to go. See, I was in Laos for 4, but I was never in. Hey, Eric, nice to see you. Eric says he came prepared. He got an antipasto salad. So that means you're prepared in case I got to eat. Mike will get some peanuts. I had some eggs earlier, and I told him not to cook them, so well done. But my kid's 4 years old, so she's in school. So I got to be careful how much, and I don't want to move around because I'm careful about her. I want her to speak English fluently as a first language and Chinese fluently as a first language. And if I move around too much, I don't think she will. So we're probably going to go traveling in a couple of weeks. I don't know, but I see my wife. She's not talking about it, but she's cruising travel apps. So she's planning something. So, no, Eric, it's okay. The No. Eric, number one, never apologize for that, bro. Come on. Number two, I ate tonight. This is the 4th day. Let me tell you, I almost met my goal. I started, when I weighed myself on Monday morning, I was 120.8. I weighed myself this morning, 120.8. Weighed myself this morning, I'm 116.0. So, yeah. I'm gonna go ride my trike tomorrow. If broadcast is up, I might mount my new gimbal on it and give it a workout. But yeah, I've almost met my my goal, and I did eat dinner tonight with my family, but I didn't overeat. See, the big problem is when you come off a fast, you go, wow, I got all these choices I haven't eaten for a couple of days. I remember the first time I fasted, I undid it in about 20 minutes. Well, each kg is 2.2. So if I went from 120 to 116, that's 4 times 2.2. So there it goes, 8.8 pounds I lost this week. For a total, since I started doing that, since I started doing fasting, the total has been about 19 pounds that I've lost, which is pretty good. Considering my age, fitness level, that's good. Okay, good. This app is keeping up. I'm only going to, I turn the screen off to save the battery. I'm only keeping the iPhone on in case we have problems. I don't think we will. I asked Broadcast to send me a message. No, you don't. You don't get weak. See, here's the thing. Your body will do whatever it takes to keep your blood glucose level within a narrow range that you need to have your strength. It will do, even if you're completely starving, it will keep it there. The funny thing is, we've all read accounts of like, the people in the Andes, was it? The crash, when they were stranded for months. Those people never got weak. They walked out of there. The mental clarity and the strength is, if you exercise on top of fasting, it like doubles your weight loss. No, you don't get weak at all. That's what's so amazing. And the crazy thing or great part about it is that after the 3rd day, see, your body stores carbohydrates for 3 days. After that, there's no stored carbohydrates, so you're burning fat, man. So if you just eat less, than your normal requirement, or you just eat not at all, after 3 days it just falls off. And what happens is appetite suppression kicks in because you start getting ketones in your blood. Now ketones, sometimes, well, most doctors recognize that as a indicator of diabetes, but you can have benign dietary ketosis. You can have ketones in your blood in a benign manner too, and that's what you do when you don't eat so many carbohydrates or you fast. And when that happens, you get appetite. All day today, I wasn't hungry a bit. It's a day 4. But I decided to eat with my family. Ketosis, yep, that's right. I decided to eat with my family because the last time I did a 4x4, I did 4 days. Then I had a meal at the Thai place, and then I did 4 other days, and I was very successful. Now the problem is I'm going to a barbecue on Saturday. So the barbecue is, I'm going to eat non-glycemic foods. Yeah. Well, all you do is eat below your normal intake, dietary requirement of food, of carbohydrates. And you're going to hit that ketosis. It's cool. So, especially like me, who have a tendency. I had an update earlier. Dave was here. I think Dave has gone to sleep. And I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to say good night, Dave. Thank you for joining. I had an update on T. T, as you know, had another operation. They stick a wire down near his groin in an artery, and they shoot it up into his brain, and they fiddle around in it looking for these blood clots, and they get rid of them. And they were doing the teeny tiny. Now, I didn't tell this to Dave, but T told me when they were poking the wire in the really skinny capillaries, one of them blew up and exploded. The result is the right side of his face is paralyzed. But the good news is it's temporary. He's talking out of the left side of his mouth, and it's hard to understand, but yeah. So he'll be okay, but it's just going to take a while. I talked to him on the phone about 5 days ago, and I could hardly understand him. But I talked to him tonight in person, and I understood everything he said. So he's already improved. He said he couldn't walk a couple days ago, but now he can. He's getting his strength back. So the doctor said he's moving towards recovery. And he's going to get acupuncture, and acupuncture is going to help. Now, saw my chat. Eric says, I saw your chat about the photo thing for Uber. And he says, WTF. I've been a photographer for many years, and I put my stuff on Flickr, you know, and it says on Flickr what the license is. And I have, I don't know, I have a blog, and I can't tell you how many times people have scraped my blog. Yep. People have scraped my blog, and they scraped, you know, my Flickr photos, and they steal them. Now, here's the thing. A textbook, I think in, I think it was in Laos, asked me if they could use some of my photographs in their textbook, and I said yes. So there's 2 textbooks that are using my photos, and they credit me. And the other one's in Singapore, I think. And I've got a photo on Wikipedia. Hey, Mike, how you doing? I got a photo on Wikipedia. If you look at the ocean sunfish entry in Wikipedia, I have a photo there too. So when people ask me, and they're not doing commercial stuff like a textbook or something or a website, I let them use it. But when they steal my stuff from me, I go after them. So right now, on business, I hired a car, and his name was Greg, with the driver, and I took a shot of him. So he's like, the shot of him was with the steering wheel here, and he's looking up like this. So it's a perfect shot for what they wanted to use. And you see the shot. If you look at it on Twitter, it's the one that's on the far right, but they cut it out like this, so my watermark is gone. So they cut off my watermark. But it's my photograph. Well, it's in Tagalog, but what it's trying to do is it's trying to say that the taxi driver is going to be a snob. He's going to have special prices for certain customers, which means jack it up. And then the other one is called Grab Taxi, which is a competitor of Uber. Of course, it's, you know, win for him. Now, the funny is 3 different columns, right? And the ad says, who do you think will win? And if it comes down to it, that's what we're going to ask them in court. Well, who do you think will win? Because it's my photo, and they frickin' stole it. Yep, it is. But it happens all the time, Mike. I can't tell you how many dozens of DCIM takedowns I've done on Google for my blog. There have been people that scrape my blog. They scrape the whole article. It's not just that they take an excerpt. They scrape the whole article from front to back, all the way, photos and everything, and put it on theirs. And they're trying to go for Google juice to try to get the Google ads, you know, AdWords advertising. That's what they're trying to do. I put a number of those people out of business by reporting them, but there's hundreds more. I mean, my stuff is probably, I even had to make bootleg CDs of my music. Hey, I'm glad he thinks so. So anyway, I've decided how much I want. And so it'll be about another week, I'll get a hold of the attorney, and I'll tell him to write a demand letter. And, I mean, we've got the proof, and so it's like they can't deny that they stole it. I can absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, prove is a numeric sequence of photos, and I can show that numeric sequence, you know, that this is, you know, whatever number, blah, 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 you know, out of the group. I can produce the camera that I took them with, so you can do the, you know, the EXIF comparison, you know. So it's like they're on thin ice. That is a pretty safe thing to say. Matthew, how you doing? Nice to have you with us. Nice to have you with us, Matthew. It's always a pleasure to see you. Broadcast had a 30-minute, they said a 30-minute service outage. Let me check the other device and see if I have a, nope, don't have a notification. I was asking them to let me know. I would much prefer to be on broadcast, but that's okay. We're on YouTube, it's in high res. So it's going good, Matthew. We're talking about the Uber ad that stole my photo today. Well, it's not, they didn't do it today. I found out about it today. One of my Filipino friends sent me a line message with that image. So yeah, that's the deal. So anyway, I'll find one. Find a lawyer, and we're going after him. I know, Eric, I feel bad. There's something weird about your phone. It just has to do with the manufacturer or something, or the version or something. It's just something weird. GoFundMe for a new phone for broadcast. That might not be a bad idea. Anyway. Yep, Matthew said suit up. I like that. Matthew says, can you see that somewhere? Marshall Matt Dillon, I don't know where the ad is, and I was too busy today. I'm going to find it. When I find it, I'll tweet it. But I did send, it's a good question, and I did send Uber Philippines a tweet, so they know I'm looking into it. So no, you're not the only one with that phone. No. So yeah, it's a stupid question. So I'm out of this mixer, so I think I'm going to stop. Art, how you doing? Nice to have you with us. All right. Art, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, there is a late night Twitter group, DM group. And if you'd like to be added to it, I'd be more than happy to add you to it. It's not really like all about me, because we talk about everything. There's lots of people in the group, and we have a lot of fun. And people upload photos of stuff that they think is funny and things like that. So it's not just like, you know, me. But if there's anything going on with like my live streams or something, that's where I put the message out so you guys know. Because I started to stream on broadcast tonight, but they've got a database outage for 30 minutes. Should be. Let me go back to Twitter and see. I'll take a quick look here. Looking at my iPhone. I have an iPhone for. Okay, I have an iPhone for a second device. Okay, so broadcast has not updated me on that. So. You mean the one that sent me? Yeah, the one that sent me the message is my friend, the same one whose house got destroyed last year. That's right. Yeah. That Art, he's a sharp one. He's a sharp one. Yeah, that's Sonny. His name is Sonny. Has it been doing it the whole time, or did it just start when I opened the second device? Because I'm using the same internet connection, and if it's a little bit too slow, then I think it might be a problem. I just noticed that little thing like right there. So I don't get it. That's Wenwen's mom. The door's open. They got air conditioning on in there. I have said this repeatedly about Vietnamese people. They always leave the door open. I actually interviewed some Vietnamese guy one day, and I asked him, at home in Vietnam, you have a house, right? He said, yeah. And you got a front door, right? He said, yeah. So when you go out, do you shut it? And he said, yeah. And I said, why don't you shut this door? So, yeah, okay. It buffers every once in a while. Actually, what I probably should do, and I haven't done, is I probably should bump the resolution down. Basically, everything's on 1080p now. Because I can, you know what I'm saying? I just, I went to 1080p because, originally, because I wanted to see how it worked, and it worked really well, so I left it like that. But you guys want to take a walk? It's a beautiful night. I got the new gimbal. I got my wide angle lens on the back. You want to take a walk to the deep fried truck and see what they got? Yeah, he's in the Philippines. Yeah. No, actually, right now, my friend is in Taiwan. Excuse me. But the ad was in the Philippines. See, the guy in the ad, his name is Greg. Okay. Yeah, Eric said it's good now. Maybe it's a second device. Yeah, it probably was. No, I understand. Greg's wife was the one that saw this ad, and she was like, you know, that her husband's picture was on this. So, all right, let's do this. I'm going to turn the second device off, and I'll tell you why. If we have any problems, we have enough moderators here. And Mike Waterford, I'll make you a moderator next time. But there are enough moderators here. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to pick this up. And let's, for changing camera is so close to the camera, it's not funny. All right, I opened it up a little bit so we're not seeing the motor. Go see what we got. Oh, the YouTube button for changing camera. All right, so we look left and there's no traffic, and look right. Yeah, I'm using a gimbal. I got a new gimbal mic, and it makes a huge difference. My other gimbal was good. It lasted for, you know, I had it for, I don't know, I got it in December 2015. Just that I got a heavier phone, and I started using more lenses and things, and just, anyway, it's time to upgrade. Taiwan is so safe, yeah, and you know because you're here right now. Mike's in Taiwan right now, by the way, guys. All right, let me see what we got here. Oh, we got my favorite things. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Hey, Steve. Steve from Florida. How are you? Nice to see you. I'm gonna get a basket. And actually, I don't need these tongs, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to get 3 of these. Now this is bacon and scallions. I'm going to get 3 of those, and I got them in my basket. I got to find the boss lady now. I don't think she's around. Yeah.
How are you?
Hey, Guanchi.
Okay.
Actually, she said sorry in English. Did you hear that? You know, you gotta love fried stuff. Everything just deep fried makes it better. Let me show you the deep fryer. You're welcome, my friend. Nice to see you. Always, Stephen. Stephen is in Florida. You guys, I think everybody here knows Steve in Florida, right? I think everybody here knows each other, I think. Except maybe Marshall Matt Dillon. I'm not sure who that is. But Marshall, you're definitely welcome. Yeah. Eric says better for you too. People, you know, are always complaining, and they're always ranking on fried food, deep fried food, but I got no problem with it. And as long as it's not like French fries, which are tremendous carbohydrates, you know. So yeah, who's Steve? Yeah, right, Eric. That's funny. So like these guys here, they got no carbohydrates. Really? Well, you know that there is a there's legislation right now before the legislative run that they want to make English the second language in Taiwan within 10 years. Oh! Oh, it's Matt, Lazy Patriot. Of course, of course, of course. Well, that's good. At least I don't have to worry about you being a troll. Eric whining again. Yeah, that's funny. So actually, I think Taiwan is moving more towards an English second language environment, maybe like Singapore. But there is a bill before the executive yuan because they understand that you're trying to be international. So what can I tell you? What they want to do. Well, this is great. Seems like our TROOL problem is not an issue. 直播？对呀，他就帮你直播啊。对，他知道啊，没钱有啊。对啊，他就帮你跟直播哎。真棒！你要那个好看啊？把口罩拉下来。哦，没关系，没关系啊。这样就 OK 了。远洋市区。不是我看到那个吗 ？The other girl came out and 要我拍照你吗？不要不要不要。Okay. Okay. The other girl came out and she was telling the boss lady of the truck, wow, he's photographing you. But she knows. She's done it. I mean, I've done this over here with her a bunch of times. And so we said it's live streaming, so she knows that. Oh, that's cool. Well, Mike, you can never know too much, right? You can never know too much Mandarin. But I gotta get out my money here. So it's 90 NT for that. Sorry about that. I'm putting my money away, so the gimbal's going wild here for a second. 美女也问说你这只是在台湾买的，台湾买的。这个对，台湾买的，对啊。台湾。9600，对，这个是这是大陆的公司。对啊，因为它这个有脚架，可以自拍。大陆制造的。可是它这个还蛮好的哎，你多买几只那种543的，还不如买一只好的。你看这个是公司名字，对。Actually, they're asking me about my gimbal. Very good. Thank you. 谢谢，拜拜。Bye bye. Have I found you a job yet here? Bacon wrapped scallions at 11 o'clock at night. Yeah. I was helping my friend today get a health check, and the Mandarin really comes in handy. Like, we went to the information board or the information desk, and the lady there spoke English. She said, you need to go over there and register. But once we got to the other place to register, nobody knew English. Yeah, they're asking about the gimbal, and they asked me how much it was. She said, how muchy in English. And then I told her, and I told her it's a Chinese company, but I bought it in Taiwan. So yeah, they think it's pretty cool. They like it. Taiwanese are really good about technology. They like high-tech stuff. All right, so here we're coming back, and it's the iconic movie set. Now, one thing about this gimbal that I noticed is that it doesn't bounce up and down as much as the other ones do. Here it is. This is like a movie set. Yeah, even the vendors love tech. That's right. Mike, you got to come down here, man, sometime, before you leave. You got to come down here. Now, let me deploy my little spider tripod. This is what I was eating before, some eggs in the plate. I'm going to throw this down. And I'm going to set that, do that. And I think we're good to go. Okay, All right, we'll go like this, get a little bit more shot of the door and stuff. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the picture quality on YouTube is fantastic, and if you're using the gimbal, it's off the charts. The only thing I don't like, and you guys probably already know this, but the only thing I don't like about YouTube Live, and which prevents me from using it for more things, is that the comments disappear. See, I've been reading comments. I haven't been doing as good a job as I should, but normally I read every single comment out, because what happens is people look at the live view, people look at the replay of the live and they go, well, what's he saying? Who's he talking to? They don't understand that people were asking questions or making comments during the live broadcast that are unavailable. Yeah, I hate that too. Because it's affected me back in the catch days when I had my website. If people didn't turn the comments on, they never saw them. So people would go to the website and they would instantly feel left out looking at a live broadcast where I was interacting with the audience, and they just left. Now here you go. I don't know why, but they really should. They should leave them in. Here you go. Bacon wrapped scallions. And I've had bacon wrapped green beans too. All right, here we go. It's hot. A little whiskey to cool it off. I agree with that, Mike. I agree with that 100%. Saltiness of the bacon and the sweetness and yet tartness of those onions matches perfect. And of course, it's funky because they've been sitting there all day, so they're aged. And in that deep fryer, that who knows when they change the oil, and who cares? This is like, and white pepper. Well, Mike, if you go out and you scope it or tube it or whatever, I'll end my broadcast right now and join you. Because I hear you, brother man. So I'm coming off the 4-day fast. I'm going to fast all day tomorrow. Maybe until Saturday again, because I want to drop 1 more kilogram. The weather has been good. It's been pretty clear, Matthew, but it's hot. I carry a brow mop. Ever since I went to the Philippines, I've had the habit of always, every summer, putting a cloth in my pocket to mop my brow with, and it comes in really handy. We haven't had much rain the last week, just a little sprinkle. But today was quite hot, and the sun was kicking down on us. Now, last week I was in East Taiwan. You guys know what a sun dog is? That's when there's a ring around the sun. I happen to, for some reason, I don't know why, I kind of look up and notice that there was like a ring, and I shielded the sun with my hand, and I photographed it. I put it on my blog today. So I've got on the nhbushman.com, I've got a new post today with one picture, the sun dog, and it's a pretty good one. So I would imagine. Well, I remember even in New Hampshire and Boston, it would get stifling humid. And people would always say the same thing in Boston. It's not the heat, it's the humidity. And you just want to go, you know? Oh, I see. So Mike's saying that his wife knows the good places to go. He said, but he should really. Well, go with her. Go behind her, man, and scope. And if you do, I'm serious. If you go live, I will end and join your broadcast. Got a sun dog. It's on the blog. Actually, I should have tweeted it, but you know what I'll do? I'll make sure you see the tweet later, just so you can see the photo of it. It's pretty good. What I did was I held my hand up to the sun and put my DSLR up and took a shot of it with my hand in the way. So it's got my hand in the way, but otherwise you couldn't see it because the glare of the sun would wash it out. That's the whole point. And of the place we're staying. Well, check it out. I'll send my blog address in a second. And the owner said he'd never seen one like that. So now, I'm from New Hampshire, and my nickname was Bushman because I was in the field a lot. So it's the THENH for New Hampshire, Bushman.com, all squished one word, THENH, Bushman.com. If you go to that site, I've got a slider on the very top of the page, well, after the header, and you'll see it. You can click on it, see the photo, and you can go to, when you click on the photo, yeah, I know you're a weather freak, that's cool. When you click on the photo, it'll take you to Flickr, and then you can download the photo if you want to for your own use, or you can view it in high res. Being a radio amateur, a ham radio operator, I received some training from the National Weather Service in weather spotting. Okay, cool. Because there's a weather system in the United States called Skywarn. You probably already know that, Mike, but it's in the United States, and they use amateur radio operators. And the cool thing is I've actually listened to the radio and heard my description, word for word, of a weather event happen that I've reported on Skywarn as a ham radio operator. So. Ken Rhyme, how you doing? That is really cool. Mike says we had heavy fog once early in the morning. I could see Mercury, that's the first planet, in front of the sun with the naked eye. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I'll say that was really cool. Wow. Kenra, how you doing? Now we got more. Let me do this. We got more karaoke girls arriving today, arriving at this time. Whoops, wrong way, sorry. Ken, how are you doing, my friend? Good to see you. I just went to the deep fried truck. I got 3 of these sticks. So we just ate one, so I got 2 more. So I'm gonna, what's wrong with my hair, man? It's sticking up. I could, okay, thank you, Steven. Thanks for sticking around so long. Appreciate it. Take care. Bye-bye. I could be a decent human being and eat these later after the broadcast, or I could just eat them now. I have my second mixer in my bike. Let me go get it. Excuse me. Now, tonight's Late Night with MJ Klein is brought to you by Schweppes Sparkling Water, and this is the lime version because I am drinking Suntory. That's a good idea. Matthew says use a little bacon grease for your hair. Yeah, not a bad idea. That's funny. And believe it or not, we do have Schweppes here in Taiwan. It's made it, and it's the lime version. And on the box, on the side of the carton that I bought the Suntory whiskey in, They have a recipe for a highball, and it involves lemon juice. So in Taiwan, they call lime lemon. They just say yellow lemon or green lemon. They don't really understand that they're two different things. It's amazing, but that's how it is. So I pour the whiskey with a lime flavored soda. And it is like a highball. All right, here we go. Now, I don't know if I ever told you this before, but drinking and eating foods together. In Chinese, they actually have a name for the type of cuisine that you eat while you're drinking alcohol. Oh, it makes sense. Okay, it makes sense. Matthew says people from Mexico do the same, lime, lemon. In Chinese, we call it means alcohol, cai, which means food. So it's sha jiu cai, below alcohol food, which means food that supports drinking alcohol. And so you can actually go into a place, order some drinks, and say, "Neo, sama, you have what? Sha jiu cai ma." Food to support drinking. And then ma, which is the question particle, which is the same as putting a question mark at the end of the sentence. So you can say that. When we were in Hualien, we were in a store, and the lady pointed to a section, and she said, "这个是虾酒菜." She said, "Those are the 虾酒菜, the food to support drinking." And there were things like beef jerky. There was some dried tofu with salt on it and stuff like that. So this kind of salty meat, I've had Chinese doctors actually tell me, if you're gonna drink, I don't know why it wasn't like that where I came from in the States. Because I would invite people over to my house to drink, and I would serve them, Taiwanese style snacks to go with the food. And they always loved it. So nothing to complain about. Now tomorrow, it's Friday. I'm going to get up tomorrow morning, take my kid to school, take my wife to breakfast. I'm not going to eat until we go to the barbecue on Saturday. Yeah, Mike says so many drinking foods here. Yes. Sorry, but I got to read the comments so people don't know what we're talking about. I'm sorry I wasn't so good at that earlier. I was just that's why I brought my own broadcast to look and see how I did, see if there's room for improvement. And sometimes I notice, I should have read the comments. So there you go. So Mike, is your wife going to go out? This is the last piece on the second stick. Your wife going to go out? This is a truck over here. So I could send her to your place. That truck stays there all the time, never moves. It could be up on blocks. It just doesn't matter. Eric, are you still with us? I know Steve had to split. Dave in Osaka was the first one in tonight, but it's really late where he lives. So he didn't last so long. Earlier in the broadcast, for those of you who joined later, I gave an update on our friend T. T runs a place over there that sometimes I go to and go eat in the front. And Mike says she wants me to go, but the kids would be here alone too. Would be here alone. Oh yeah. You know, I don't know why I said that. That was stupid. I should know that. I know you're a father. Mike is a father. 2 beautiful boys. Let me tell you. He's blessed. They're twins, right? Yeah, they're twins. Yeah. Wow, why did I forget that? So yeah, you don't want to go out and leave the boys home alone. You never do that unless it's an absolute emergency. And I can't think of what would compel you to do that. So certainly not food like that. So might get upset. They'd freak out. They would start yelling for you. Mommy, Daddy, where are you? Yeah, it would be bad. So, all right, that's cool. Yeah, I was in the moment. I wasn't thinking. Yeah, you can't just go out with your wife at this time and go looking for street food because you've got kids in bed. And it's not like they're 16 or 17 years old. You leave them a note. Inglorious. 1080p. With a somewhat greasy front camera, excuse me. There we go. Ken, there you go. That's better. Earlier in the broadcast, I talked about tea, so you might want to go back and look at the replay. I'll tell you again. But first of all, Ken is asking, has Wenwen received any postcards yet? And how's Mr. T? No, she hasn't. I asked her today. I told her they were coming because it occurred to me that if she got these in the mail and didn't know what they were and couldn't read them, she might just throw them away thinking they were a mistake, or maybe she might think that they were advertising. So I told her, and she got a big smile on her face, because I explained to her how famous this place is here, right? I should have cleaned that camera off a long time ago. I'm sorry, guys. Duh. Okay. Mike says she would risk it by more sensible, I guess. Yeah, well, when you're the father, that's what you got to do. You gotta act like a man. You got to do the right thing. Doesn't matter if it's comfortable. Doesn't matter if it hurts. You just got to do the right thing for your family. So that's it. Yeah, that's what we do. So kudos to you, bro. So I also said that when she gets a postcard that I would come down and I would read it to her in Chinese what the message is, what people said to her, and where the card was from. And I suggested that she put them up on the wall, and so she liked that. She was really happy about that. I told her it's because her place is so famous, and her place has been on at least 4 live streaming platforms that I know, maybe more than that. All right, Ken, I saw T today, and I told David and Osaka earlier in the broadcast that when I saw T, I had to control my emotions so he wouldn't see in my face how bad he looked. What they did was they went in an artery in his groin. They went in with a long piece of wire and they snaked it up, to the brain, to the teeniest, tiniest capillaries. He had 2 operations before. They went from bigger to medium sized, then to smaller. Now this was a smaller one. And he said while they were snaking, basically it's like snaking a drain, okay, because he's got blood clots. They're just trying to clear it. It's a pretty good analogy. So while they were snaking one of the tinier capillaries, it blew up and exploded. So basically he had an aneurysm, or maybe you might say it was a stroke. And so the right side of his face is paralyzed. He was talking and only this side of his mouth was moving. Nothing on that side. And he would blink and this eye would shut and this eye would move just a little bit. And he lost his hearing in this side. Now called him a couple of days ago. I've been calling him like since about a week after his operation, and his phone was off. His phone was off. His phone was off so many days, and then it was finally on. And I talked to him, and I thought he was drunk, but I know he doesn't drink. I thought he was drunk, so I asked him, "Are you on medication?" He said, "No." I couldn't understand what he was saying. I understood about 50%, and I've known him for like 5 or 6 years. I know the guy very well, and I couldn't understand what he was saying because his speech was so slurred and so difficult to understand. Now tonight I talked to him in person, and I could understand everything he said. Yeah, Ken says, "Oh no." I can understand everything he said, so he's improved. Now here's this cool thing. A couple of days ago when I had called him, he couldn't walk. Now he can walk, and the store is open tonight. He's running business tonight. So even though the right side of his face is exhibiting some paralysis, he's just moving forward with his life and doing, regular stuff like he always did. So the doctor told him that it should be temporary, not to worry, and that he needs a couple of months maybe of rest, but with progressively increasing exercise. He wants to get back to where he can ride his bike, because riding his bike is good. Yeah, it is rough. It is rough. Mike says, that's rough, poor guy. But he's positive about it. He's really positive, and I was positive too with him. And I told him, I said, when I talked to him on the phone, I couldn't understand him very well, but now I can understand him perfectly. I said, you already made progress. And he said, because he couldn't walk and now he can, that he is going up. So that's what you want to do with people. You want to give them, you want to encourage them. You never want to discourage people like that. You always want to give them encouragement. You want to give them something positive to think about. Their improvement, their eventual recovery. Of course, if there's a chance of recovery. You don't want to give people false hopes. That could be detrimental. But I'm not a therapist, my sister is. She knows what to do, what to say. Anyway, he's already made improvements, and the doctor did tell him that he will recover. The doctor told him that it's normal for that kind of surgery and for what happened to him. Now, the other thing is, we're in Taiwan, and so he's going to get acupuncture because the Western doctor told him that acupuncture would help. So he's got an appointment for next week to go to acupuncture, and he says the acupuncturist told him. He's running it with his girlfriend, so they're open for business tonight, and he's there. People that know him will be a little bit put off at first when they see him, but somebody that never met him before will think he's just got an issue. But he's perfectly fluent. He lost no memory. He knew who I was right away, and I asked him about his memory. He said he's lost no memory, and he can still speak all 5 languages. It's just a little hard to enunciate because that side of his mouth is just not functioning. I can't imagine what that's like. It's like talking with a bunch of marbles in your mouth, basically, is what it sounded like. He sounded drunk when I talked to him, and he didn't sound drunk today, so he's already made improvements. So I imagine week after week he's going to get better. Now, I did want to broadcast from his place tonight, but as soon as I saw him, I realized that would be very indiscreet, and it would be inappropriate. So I'll wait until he feels he's recovered enough to come back on camera, because you guys all remember him. You've seen him, and I've gone in his place before and done the karaoke stuff, So that's the report. That's the issue with T. Sorry, just looking at the stats. Excuse me. So who do we have with us? Please let me know. I know Stephen had to go, and I know that Dave fell asleep. He's got work tomorrow. We got Ken. I think Eric's gone. We got Matthew and Mike. Do we have Matt still with us? Because it shows we got six viewers, which for YouTube Live, for me, for this channel, is good. Time will heal. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. It is like having a stroke, Ken says. Actually, I think you're absolutely right. Mike says that's good news. He's getting better. I'm going to tell you right now that if he didn't recover any more than this, he could still function. He couldn't like get in a fist fight with somebody because the right side of his body, it's not his whole body, it's his face, but it does affect his arms a little bit. He couldn't get in a fist fight with somebody, but he could run a business and he can communicate, you know, so. And if he talked to somebody on the phone, he could just explain to him, you know, I've got a speech impediment. Sorry, I'm not drunk, but yeah, so. But he's going to improve. And so I told him I'd check on him in a couple of days. See how he's doing. Matthew's here. Okay, great. Thank you. I told him I'd check in on him in a couple of days, see how he's doing. And I'll give all you guys an update too. Oh, that's so good. Now, there's only one problem with this kind of food. This is the end. Oh, it's going down the stick. Look at this. It's going down the stick. Oh no. That's the last one. Thank you, Ken. Ken says he'll be sending good thoughts for Mr. T. His name in English, it's a Vietnamese name. It's actually spelled T-H-E, so it looks like the. So he has a Facebook page. It looks like The Chan, C-H-A-N, T-H-E, and the last name is C-H-A-N. That's his Facebook page. If you guys want to find him, you know, tell him you're friends with MJ and you've seen it. You know, you've seen him on the live streams, and wish him well. I'm sure it'll make him feel better. But it's funny when you see his name, it looks like the. So in English sentences, it's a little bit confusing to see something about, you know, the said this, the said that. It's like, whoa, what are we talking about? So that's why I just put T, because that's how it's pronounced. It's pronounced T, but it's spelled T-H-E. All right. We are done. Wow. We've had a good solid hour live stream. I may stream tomorrow night. If broadcast is up and running, I will probably stream tomorrow night. But no, it's a bacon wrapped scallions. Ken is asking, is it bacon wrapped green beans? That was before. This time is bacon wrapped scallions. And I got 3 sticks, and each stick had 4 rolls, and it cost 90 NT, which is about $2.80. So it's not bad. When Mike comes back to Taiwan, I'm sure he realizes how much money he saves living here, especially for food. Mike, it's been cool. Been cool having you here too with us. Thank you so much. So we're gonna sign off. It's been over an hour. It's been a great stream. It's been a lot of fun talking to you guys and showing you the truck and stuff. It's all in HD 1080p and giving you the update on T. So I'll be around tomorrow, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna stream. It depends on YouTube. So yeah, I'm going off. I'm going off in a few minutes, Matthew. Thank you very much. Broadcast, they configured the Tokyo server, right, as an edge point for Asia, and I can stream to them, but the problem is they had a database outage tonight. It's weird what's going on. They're putting out fires, and they've had a history of problems. I don't know what it is with service providers and databases and things, but this has been going on for like 2 years. But hey, it's like nobody's perfect, so you put up with people with flaws and imperfections, and that's how it is with the live streaming game, is the way I see it. So, thank you, Mike. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Yeah, and hopefully we'll get a chance to see you down here sometime, Mike. You have to tell your wife, show your wife this stream, and tell her, you know, please, Chingwini, you know, let Mike come down and visit. So, hey, Gallardo. I haven't been on Periscope for about 3 or 4 weeks. I don't actually have any. I don't have any plans. I mean, I can. I've got an iPhone too that I can do so. But yeah, I mean, if you guys want me to, you know, to scope on Periscope, I can. It's just I always get lots of new people coming on asking me dumb questions or personal questions I don't want to answer. So. Matthew says, good hanging with you all. Got a good delay. Yeah, there's probably about a 30-second delay in the video. See, the delay is not in the comments. The delay is in the video. When I say something, you guys hear it 30 seconds later, and then you comment on it, and I see the comments instantly. So, thank you guys. Thank you guys. Okay, well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Periscope is pretty much dead, and I kind of don't want to associate with it with all the strippers and the you know, home of the $20 private. That's Periscope, you know, but that, you know, that's not the viewer's fault, and you're right about that. So thank you very much. You guys take care. I'm going to tweet out the link here. So as we say in ham radio, 7-3, that means best wishes, and this is Taiwanese for I'll see you later, like you know. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Have a good night. Bye-bye.